Hi friends, I'm Leah Noel and this is Rhubarb Patch Studio, my Flosstube channel where I post updates about my cross stitching. Thanks for joining me today, and it's been a while since I've posted an update. Lots has been going on in my life, and if you're interested in hearing about that, I will say something about it at the end. For now, I have cross-stitching updates here to show you, and I'm just gonna try to get through them as I can. It's not everything that I've been stitching on since you saw me last, because that would be too much to cover here. Like, that would be more like whip parade material. But even with, you know, the limited selection that I have now, it's a lot. I decided to show you finishes, except Christmas finishes, because I think I'm gonna aim to film another video next month in December. How did that happen? I'm going to do like a Christmas update next month, because I do lots of Christmas and winter stitching. So I have some finishes there, but I'm gonna save those for the next video. In this video, I do have some monumental finishes to show you, and well, at least one huge finish. And I've got some new starts. I decided to show you whip updates on projects that I showed this year in 2025 on my channel. So you'll get updates on those projects if I've actually worked on them. And I'm also throwing in a handful of projects that I'm just really enjoying right now. So let's kick it off with something big, okay? I have a huge finish to share with you. It is Portuguese Bird Sampler by Barbara Anna Designs. And this is where you saw it last. And I finished this. Here's my finish. This was a labor of love. I've been stitching it for at least 3 years, I think. I gifted it to my husband for our 20-year wedding anniversary in August. I customized a lot of this. You can tell that I changed all of the colors just to suit my own, my own interests, my own choices, color choices. I used a lakeside linen fabric that is, I think, either French lilac. I think it's French lilac. It's the only purple one, like the only bright purple linen that they offer. So that's what it is. All of the flosses are color and cotton floss, and I've had several people reach out to me to see if I will share my color conversion, and my answer as of right now is unfortunately no, I can't share it. I did not do a 1-for-1 color conversion, and a lot of the flosses that I used came from a previous club, Color and Cotton Floss Club. And so a lot of those flosses are limited editions, and I couldn't think of how to provide the color conversion without like also sharing parts of the pattern. And so it's just complicated. It's too complicated for my brain right now, and I'm sorry, but I can't share my color conversion. But I do, I do allow you, I give you consent to be inspired by my color choices if you would like to stitch this and just kind of use similar color themes as I did. Another thing I'm considering is doing one whole video where I just talk about what changes I made to the the pattern and just kind of talking through my color choices and all of that. So if that's something that might interest you, please let me know in the comments, because if there's enough people who are interested in seeing just a solitary video about the process that I went through to customize the design to suit my own interests, then I'll make a video like that and post it. I got this framed at Lynn's of Madison in Madison, Wisconsin. I was able to travel there to see their wide selection of frames and pick one out in person. The person who helped me pick out this frame was Catherine, and she was so patient and kind and really helped me a lot. It was actually her suggestion to go with this frame, and we tried several others, but this one just fit the most. And then I left it there for them to frame, and they shipped it to my house because I don't live near them. So it was an investment, but I knew that I wanted it done in time for my 20-year wedding anniversary. And so it was worth the investment for that. And they did an amazing job, and they shipped it so well, and I couldn't be happier. So if you are interested in getting your pieces professionally framed, I can strongly recommend Lynn's of Madison. When I surprised my husband, he was a little bit, well, he was surprised for one thing, but he knew that I was stitching it because I stitched on it almost exclusively for about 2 months. And, you know, I was showing him progress and everything, but he didn't know that I was stitching it specifically for our wedding anniversary. So he felt a little bit sheepish because he said, had I ever paid attention to the words, I probably could have figured it out. And I said, yeah, you probably could. So the 2 dates on the bottom are the years that signify the year that we were married and this year. But I also signed and dated it in my own fashion in backstitch with my initial signature and the year completed. So I'm happy to have that done. Another big finish, not quite as huge and monumental, but still, this is a special finish. I was working on a birthday collaboration with Megan, the Wide-Eyed Stitcher. We stitched Easter Goose by SubRosa Designs. This designer is on Etsy, so you can get this design on Etsy. We both stitched this, we both stitched it up, and then we exchanged the egg basket because we were both born in 1984, and last year we both turned 40, so this was our special way of celebrating. So we are both completely finished, and we exchanged our eggs, and I have not yet sewn it together, but I kind of placed it together like this so you can kind of see how it will look. So I love how it looks together, and it's just going to be even better once it's sewn together and in a frame. Yay. So the last time you saw it, I was just like slogging through this goose. This is a huge goose, lots of white. I used 2 strands over 2 on linen, and I know a lot of people don't care for that method, but I don't mind how it came out. It really helps when you do one leg down one row and then cross your leg all the way back, and you always make sure that your top leg is coming up and down in the same holes always. You can't always help that on your first leg, but you should always do that on your top leg, and that helps to keep your stitches even, and you don't see like rows or ridges or anything like that. So that's my quick tip. I added 1984, and I shared this with Megan so that we could both put 1984. I took this from a pattern in my collection, and I can't remember what it's, I can't remember what it is right now, but again, if you need to know, I will just send me a comment and I will look it up for you. The egg I got from Megan is so special because she used like a collection of flosses to stitch this egg, and you can't see it super well on the camera, but it's got multiple textures. Like you can sort of see it there. That's not just different colors, that's like also different textures of floss. So I love it so much because it just looks so natural, and I love, I love making things look more natural. And I also love that the dark basket kind of balances the dark numbers, and the purple is so beautiful. Purple's my favorite color, and I think Megan knew that. And it goes well with these pink and the yellow. It's so nice. I just love it. So that's a special finish. Thanks, Megan. It was so much fun. And Megan also sent me a goodie basket, and I'm just gonna put this stuff away here to the side. Megan also sent me a goodie bag. She made an amazing project bag for me with Goose's geese and flowers. So fun. I love it. And sometimes Megan and I are just on the same wavelength because she made me an ort catcher out of this very cool goose fabric. So it's just one of these ort catchers that you put your, like you just have it sitting next to your stitching spot, and you add your orts, and they don't, blow away or whatever. So I love these. And I sent her an ort catcher also, but made by my friend Christina, Quilting with Nico, because I can't make things by myself right now. And she sent me a beautiful card, again with my favorite colors. And I think the card I sent her also had roses on it. And she also included this very fun goose kit from 1984, which is our birth year. And it comes with the fabric, the floss, and the frame. So this is going to be another birthday stitch along with Megan and I, probably. So that was very fun. So thanks again, Megan. And I sent her some goodies, and she showed those on her channel already. So I'm going to set this over here. All right. Next up, I have another finish to show you. And this is called Good Things, and it's by Birds of a Feather. I borrowed the chart from a friend, and I made a working copy. And I changed all of the colors, and I finished it. So, yay. Here's my finish. So this fabric is 36 count feldspar, I think, feldspar, by Picture This Plus. It's one of my favorite linens, absolute favorites, because I love blue linens, and this blue has modelings of tan in it, and so it just is really, it's interesting, and white shows up fairly well on it. I only used one strand of floss on 36 count, so everything is much more muted than I would normally stitch, but I really wanted to, I don't know why, I wanted to use just one strand on this. And I changed all the colors because I like things to look more natural, more realistic. So I opted to change his, what do you call it? It's his, whatever, his rain jacket thing, I changed it to yellow. I left his cap blue because I didn't want it to be too matchy-matchy, but I changed all the other colors. So I think the design is supposed to have a button there for the worm, but I don't have a button, and also this is 36 count. So I just did a little worm, freestyle 1/1. Can you see it? I don't know. The lighting might not be great, but so yeah, all these fish and everything were supposed to be like different colors, and I just changed it. The crab was charted to be red, and crabs turn red when you cook them, so I wanted it to be brown and like an orangey brown. So I used 2 flosses there. So I wanted this to be kind of like a rockfish, sargassum fish, a crab, a sea bass. Is that it? And more rockfish, I think. Really, I just wanted to balance the colors, the red here and the red here. So I just wanted to balance it. And then I wanted the mermaid to have kind of a spooky, greenish, fishy kind of flesh tone. And so I used a greenish tan for her skin, and I like the way it turned out. And her hair, I wanted it to look more like giant sea kelp. And if you've ever seen giant sea kelp in person, it is more this color. It's more of a light tan, like a yellowy tan color. It's not green. So the phrase at the bottom says, "Good things come to those who wait." And the question for me is, who's waiting? You know, is it this fisherman, or is it this mermaid? Or is it the dog? Or the fish getting a worm? You know, who knows? There's lots of people waiting in this. And then the alphabet, I wanted to be very ghosty. So you can hardly see them there. And I just changed the initials of myself, my husband, and my son. Our first, middle, and last initials. So there it is. Very happy to have this done. This is going to go in my library eventually. Okay, the next finish I have to show you. You know what? The next finish I have to show you is actually the FFO that I made for my son's teacher last year. I didn't have the FFO finished on my last update, so I will just pop in a photo of it here. And I can't remember what it was called. It was like Scuola something. It's by an Italian designer. I'll put all the information down below, because everything I show you, I'm going to have listed down below under finishes and whips. But I really like how it turned out. It's cute. The next finish, so this is actually, I don't know if this is finished or not. This is Wilbur by Teresa Kogut. And this is where it was last time you saw it. And here it is now. So, he is so sweet. I love him so much. Wilbur is totally done. I am not doing the frame because I don't do borders. I don't do borders. I feel like I can just frame it right up to the frame when I have it. I actually have this frame that I really want to use, but I'm not sure if it's going to be too big. So it like just barely fits this piece of fabric. If I put it up here, then I don't have enough fabric to frame it. And if I might mat it so that I can put it all in this frame. Because look at this frame. It looks like weathered barnwood, doesn't it? It's just, I have to figure out how to do that, you know? And then the other thing that's holding me up right now is this web. Okay, this web. I've shown on a previous video what I want to do. I want to stitch a web that looks exactly like an illustration from Charlotte's Web. Like I have that illustration and I thought it would be no problem to do, but I've already stitched something once and I took it out because I hated it. And now I'm trying this method and I'm still just not loving it. And so I don't know if I should just give up, rip it all out, and just call Wilbur done. Or like I could do, I don't know if there's like maybe a spider charm or something maybe I could use instead of, you know, of doing a web on there with floss. I don't know. If you have any thoughts about this, please weigh in because I am stuck. I'm stuck. This is either finished or it's in progress still. Okay, next up is, this is a whip. This is a whip that I like to travel with, especially, like out of season. I don't know. I have a really hard time stitching autumn in season because autumn is just, I really struggle with the season of autumn. I don't love it like so many people do. For a lot of people, it's their favorite season. For me, it's really hard. But I love this whip. It's autumn at Hucker and Hallow. Last time you saw it, it looked like this. And now, it looks like this. So, as you can see, I went down a row. I'm just doing an abbreviated version. I'm only stitching 8 of the squares. So I'm stitching on this block right now. Sorry, that's this string is attached here. So I dislike stitching straight lines, so I just keep those. I save those for when I just need something mindless. And I'm also filling this in just, you know, when I have time, which is usually in the pickup line at school, because I pick up my son every day from school and the line is really long, but still I only get about 5 minutes of stitching a day. So this is what I work on because I can just pick it up and, you know, keep going where I left off. And on like times when I have more time to use my brain, I work on this area because it's all, I'll show you. It's actually like it's a checkered pattern. So this is the block here. So yeah, it'll be good when it's done. It's on Ada, so it's really easy to travel with. All right, here is Christy Barron by Erica Michaels. This is this was released in 2021, I believe. And it was my favorite market release, so I bought it. And I didn't start stitching it till, I think I started it this year, actually, this year. All right, now this one, no, I won't. Okay. So last time you saw it, I had just put in a little bit. And now I have a hanging thread, so I have to fix it. Now I am this far. There I am. So I'll bring it up close so you can kind of see. I love borders that have like multiple colors in it, you know, like none of these flowers are the same. next to each other. They are repeating, but it's like a collection of colors in there, and I love patterns that do that with alphabets or borders or something like that. I just love it. So the border has not been too tedious. Like I don't usually do borders, but this one I had to do it because these flowers are pretty great. Like they're all spiky and gosh, I love them. And I am going to be changing this verse here. I have it all charted out and everything, but I'm just not ready to share what that is, what the new thing is going to be. And I'm not ready to start stitching that either, but I really have been enjoying this one. It's 40 count, 1/1, and I did a color conversion with overdyed cottons. And the fabric is 40 count Mockingbird by Color and Cotton. I love Color and Cotton. I love their fabrics. Okay, next one I've been enjoying. I'm falling behind on my goals with this one, but it's okay. I've released myself from all of the goals I made. Long Dog Samplers. This is Ragnarok, and it's 16 pages. So I started this on leap day as a leap year project. I'm hoping to get this done by next leap year. I might not meet that goal, but that's okay if I don't. Last time you saw it was here, and now here is where I am. As you can see, I am stitching the negative. I just wanted, I don't know, I just wanted to do it. I wanted it to have this kind of look where all of the characters, all of the creatures were the fabric. So that's why I picked a dynamic fabric color. I've been working here on this page, and this page is almost finished. I believe it starts about right here. So this whole page here is almost done. This is an XG design fabric. I think it's 36 count jack-o'-lantern, and I'm just using one strand of floss because I am stitching this in hand, like using the sewing method. If I could go back and do this over again, I would probably pick a silk, just because the coverage is really sparse. You can see the fabric stands out in my stitching, but when you pull it back like this, you can't tell, and so I don't mind so much. The back stitching is a little bit tricky. I had to find a floss that matches the fabric color, but it doesn't stand out very well. But you can see this whole section here has back stitching over the stitching, so it gets a little thick, it gets a little weird, but I'm just going with it, and that's fine. So right now, this is a big horse. It's not really a horse. It's got a name, but I don't remember what the name is. You can see right there, right here. And I decided to go up this way because I'm stitching in hand, so my hand is touching all of this fabric here, and I just thought I would limit the hand oils and stuff. So that's coming along. Next, this is Timber Mallards by, this is Leisure Arts. Okay, this is in this booklet called Southward Bound. There's two patterns in the booklet. There's wood ducks and timber mallards. Here's a close-up of the timber mallards. And this is by Leisure Arts. I love this pattern. I love this designer. This designer is no longer making patterns. Leisure Arts. I am doing this for my husband. He says this is his favorite thing that I'm stitching because it is so realistic, and we love ducks and birds and watching wildlife and everything. So this is where I am now. I'm just, I don't know. I finished stitching the beak. Actually, the whole body is finished except for 2 colors right in here in the highlights. So I don't know if you can see that very well. So right now I am working through the whole bottom half. So right about here, I think, is where is the halfway point, and the rest is like a marsh. It's water. It's water. You can see all that reflection stuff. It's all half stitches. And you'd think like, oh, half stitches, so easy, it's gonna go so fast, but I struggle with half stitches. I don't know what is wrong with me. Does anyone else struggle with half stitches? Like, do you hate half stitches? I do. I do. At least I hate it on linen in counting, because like I don't know, it's just harder. It's harder to count for me. It's harder to just do it, just stitch it. I don't know. But I'm working through it. So I'm just starting from the top of the page and trying to find the next color that is not stitched. And then I'm just, to make it easier on my brain, because it's all like confetti, I'm just doing 1 square at a time, completing 1 square, one on the grid, you know, of that color, and then moving on. So I really want to have this done this year. I don't know if it'll happen, but I would love to have that. I would love to finish this year. Again, it's an autumn themed project, and I really struggle to stitch it right now. But this fabric is Cauldron by Picture This Plus, and it's a perfect fabric for this design. I actually know several people have reached out to me to say they've kitted it up with the same fabric, and that's great. It basically belongs together, right? I think. Next up is Split Rock Lighthouse. This is a kit by Merejka. Where is the name? Merejka. I don't know. It'll be listed down below, but it's a kit. It came with fabric and floss, and I'm not using the fabric. I'm using my own choice of fabric because parts of the fabric show through up in here. It's almost full coverage, but not quite. And most of this is like half stitching. So you'll see a lot of the fabric come through. So I just wanted to make it more interesting for myself. I don't know if I have a before picture, because this is kind of a new start. Whoops, excuse me, sorry. This is kind of a new start, like this, I think it was my New Year's start. This is where I am. I started at the bottom. And when I first started stitching this, I was kind of struggling because it's a paper pattern, right? It's a paper pattern, and it's full coverage. So it was just like, you know, I was hunting for the symbols, and it was just like, it was taking a lot longer than I liked, and so it was harder to work on. So I just didn't find myself stitching on it as much as I wanted to. I wanted to get this done in 1 year. That's totally not going to happen, but that's okay. The amazing thing is the designer created their own app for their products, like for their designs. So their app, wanted to tell you about this, is called, I think it's called Fantastitch. Yes, Fantastitch. Fantastitch, and it'll be listed below. But it's a free app. You don't have to pay for the app, but you do have to purchase the kits. And they make it very easy for you to claim the digital pattern for kits that you have purchased that don't have the digital pattern included yet. But now I heard from other stitchers that this designer is going to strictly digital patterns, which, you know, I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't mind it because I don't use the physical pattern if I don't have to. The app makes it so much easier to stitch on. It is it's very functional, and the kits, the designs use a lot of blends and half stitches, and on their app it's very clear how to tell if it's a half stitch or a full cross stitch, or if it's a blend. It is extremely clear. It is not at all like Pattern Keeper that doesn't differentiate between symbols, you know, whether it's however many strands it is, or blends or anything like that. It's not like Pattern Keeper. It's totally different. There are things that I like more about Fantastitch, and there's things about the other one. I just said it. Pattern Keeper. There's things about Pattern Keeper that I like more. So it's just different, you know, it's just different. But I highly recommend getting Fantastitch if you have a Merejka kit. So this is another Picture This Plus. I think it's Ariel, and it's looking really nice so far. Those are all rocks, but look how many colors are in the rocks. So yes, I'm really enjoying it now that I have Fantastitch. All right, these I'm gonna try to just like breeze through. All right, so this is Birds of a Feather, Remember Me. This is my one and only Halloween project in my whip pile because I don't really stitch Halloween. I am abbreviating the pattern. I'm only stitching from the houses down, and I'm bringing these two motifs down into the house line. So that's all it'll be. It'll be kind of tiny. Here's where you saw it last. And here it is now. So I just stitched on this a tiny little bit. I'm stitching on it in hand for the most part with one strand of floss over 2 on 36 count. And this is mystery linen, but it's pretty cool, but you won't see much of that modeling. It'll just be like this. So there's my progress. Okay, don't want to lose my needle. All right, next is Hearth and Home by Chessie and me. I thought maybe I could finish this year, but I'm not sure if I will have the time. I also tried to cheat a little bit on this one, but I'm not going to be able to. Here's my progress now. Sorry, got no notification that wouldn't go away. All right, here's my progress now. And where I was trying to see if I could cheat is I just had a little bit of grass stitched down here, and it was all spiky and it looked like grass. And I was like, maybe I could just draw this outline, you know, have this outline and leave it as a suggestion of a hill. And I asked my husband. He usually gives me very good, honest feedback, and he said, you probably need to fill it in. And I was like, oh, I know you're right. So I've just been working on filling in that huge mound of grass. So I really love how this looks. I'm really looking forward to having it done. It needs another bird here and then some words. I'm changing the words, but I'll share more about that next time. All right, next I worked on Fig Folk. This is something I started for Amy's birthday. Amy loves toads, and I haven't finished this yet. I started on the bottom. I made a counting error somewhere in here, and so I've been like, usually I mark it off so that I know not to count from there, but I just like, I had a solid chunk of time where I could stitch around it, and so like everything here is up to date, like it's where it should be, so you can't even tell that I made a stitching error. But I start from the bottom and I work up to the top, and those adorable little bats are at the top, so I saved the best for last. Like, good for me. I did that. So I love it, and I love the colors. I changed the colors. I changed all the colors just to personalize it. It looks more real to me this way. So I had a start along with Olga. She is PNW Stitcher. We started the Briar by Sprouting Loupine, or Lupin. Is it Lupin or Loupine? I've always said Loupine, but Olga, she's the fastest stitcher I know, and so she started and then she was done in like 2 days, and you know, not me. I can't do that, and I didn't do that. But I started, and I'm still working on it. I'm stitching it on 32 count farm eggs by Extrude Designs, and I did a color conversion to overdyed cottons. This pink that I'm using in the flower, the lightest pink, is too pink for my taste, and so I am dulling it down for the rest of the pattern. And I'm just gonna keep the light pink in the flowers. I think it will be okay that way. But the light pink is supposed to be right here in the border, so I just needed it to be not so in your face. But it's kind of fun. It is fun. I just have to be in the right mood. I think the pink was really, I was feeling like it wasn't right, and so I wasn't really called to work on this very much, but now that I picked out another floss to sub it with, like, I want to work on that more. So here is a new start. It's called I Love My Cat by Dirty Annie's. I love my cat. I'm not going to write the words I love my cat. I'll just leave it empty. I might put I love you, but I'm not sure. I might just take off the words altogether. I also did color conversion for this one. Who's surprised? This is on 40 count. It's a fiber on the whim, but it's a mist-dye, or like a, what do they call it? They call it Color Happens. And it's a 40 count, 1/1, or 1/2 on 40 count, and I am changing the colors. I started this with Amy. We started it for World Cross Stitch Day. We've both had it kitted up and ready to start, and you know, I just thought World Cross Stitch Day, it's as good of a time as any. It's a great excuse to start this adorable pattern. And I have a frame for it already, and I want to put it in my library, so I already have a purpose for it. I really want to get back to it, but I just haven't had time to work on it. Okay, here's the next one, Harriet Tubman by The Primitive Hare. I have reorganized because I didn't want to stitch this. I didn't want to stitch this or this, these two borders. I didn't want to. And so I'm reorganizing the motifs to be more up and down. I don't know if I have a mock-up. If I do, I'll post it, but I'm not sure. And here's where I was last time you saw it. And I got a decent amount done since you saw it last. Here is where I am now. I love this gingham fabric. It's a Weeks Dye Works Cocoa, I think. And it's 32 count, 2/2. And you can see like her outlines coming together. This is just a handful of flosses, so it's pretty easy to work on. And I like to, I kind of want to color complete in here in this area, so except for the whole background of it is stitched. You see that background behind her? It's all stitched, so I probably won't color complete that part, but yeah, I like this one. What a hero. All right, this is World Peace Angel by Lavender and Lace. She's my favorite fancy lady of all time. I love her. World Peace Angel. She needs a board. I haven't stitched on this a whole lot, I don't think, but I'll just show you. Oops. Okay. Here's where I am now. So yeah, since you saw it last, I've been trying to fill in the globe. So like every now and then I'll just pick a floss from like one of the lowest points and then just stitch as far as it'll go. And then again, I'll just repeat, like pick a color that is at the lowest point and then just stitch as much as it'll go. And I'm trying not to get into the wings right away, because those will be here. Some of the wing colors are in the globe, but I just want this globe done. And I also want her face done, but it's all over one, so I need a solid chunk of time to color complete the face colors so that I don't get lost. I think I also added a few colors here and maybe in here since you saw it last. This is a color and cotton fabric. It's 32 count Salem. It's a really dusty dark purple. It's a dusty dark purple. It was kind of, I thought it was fitting for like a space feel. Okay. This is called Be Here Now by The Drawn Thread. This is something I started for my 40th birthday last year, and it's so small. I should have it done already, but I don't, and that's fine. Last time you saw it, I've added hardly anything since last time you saw it. Okay, here's where I am. I think all I've added so far is the O and part of the W. That's it. But I really like it. And I'm trying to have it be a companion to this freebie, which is, I'm sure, still on their website, on the Drawn Thread website. But it's like some mystery fabric, dark green, and using my own floss conversions. So pretty. And this, I think, is the last one I'll show you. This is called Martha Carr 1838 by by Cross Stitch Antiques. I'm stitching this because it reminds me of my son's current school, his current elementary school. His favorite color is yellow, and so when I saw this, I was like, well, I mean, look at all that yellow. Yellow and orange and white. He loves those colors. So I knew I had to stitch it to, just thinking about auto. So the last time you saw it, I had just started it, I believe, and I just had parts of the tree. And now here's where I am. There it is. There's where I am. So the chimney next to the tree is new, and that whole basket with the fruit is new. And I'm stitching this with silks. It's a 40 count linen. I believe it's a 40 count linen. It's a color and cotton. I think it's called Mozart. Not totally sure, but I know it's color and cotton. Silk floss of like from my collection, and I wanted to keep it in the same, like, I wanted to keep the same color themes as the model. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get going on this one because my son's only in his school for another year after this year. So I need to work that up on my priority list. Last thing I thought I'd share is I didn't bring it with me, but I got a snag nabbit from my friend Tammy, who is Lavender and Lace Co. XOXO on Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel, so I'll post it down below. But I think her YouTube channel is her name, Tammy. I can't remember her last name, but it'll be listed down below. And you can check that out. She's really excellent at finishing, and she has a finishing service. And we met at Jingle Ball last year, and we also had a chance to mingle at I think it was called the Spring Mingle. Something. It was the spring. It was like earlier this spring. It was one of Lindy Stitch's online events, and yeah, we just got chatting, and I had never tried a snag nabbit, and she was like, I'll send you one, and I was like, awesome, you know. So it's a really interesting tool. I think it's going to be really useful to have in my collection. So thank you, Tammy. All right, so that is it for my stitching update, and thank you for joining me for that. Thanks for your interest in what I'm stitching on, and for coming back even after, you know, how many months has it been? 7, 8. I invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That's really the best way to know when I'm gonna post a new update. I'm gonna share a little bit about life. So if you only came for stitching, then I'll catch you later, you know, on my next update. And thanks for stopping by. So if you're here for a life update, let's see. I won't share everything. I think that would be kind of boring. Just after my last update, things got really busy. It was the end of the school year, end of 3rd grade for my son Otto, and I was going through kind of a low, like an emotional low, and I wasn't stitching much, and I wasn't keeping up with many Flosstube videos, and I wasn't or online and on Instagram or anything like that. And so I just kind of, I don't know, just kind of pulled away, and I haven't rehearsed how to share all my news. So sometime in the middle of the summer, like the summer was so busy, Otto was active in a lot of extracurriculars, and I was taking him to things every single day, and it was just really busy. And my husband is gone a lot for work. You know, he's gone 50% of the time. And so it was just a lot going on, and it just wasn't, I couldn't keep up with Flosstube or anything. And I was also kind of soul searching a little bit. The move here to where we are now, it really hit differently than I expected it to, and it took a while for me to process all of that. And I feel like, you know, everything's just feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still, working through some things, and a lot of it has to do with perimenopause. I read an amazing book, by the way, called The New Menopause by Dr. Mary Claire Haver, I believe is what her name is. I highly recommend it. If for anyone who is born with a uterus, it is highly informational, very science-backed information, advice from an OBGYN. It's amazing. It is such a good resource, and I have such a better plan now for how to move through some of these symptoms that I'm having. Okay, so in the summer, it was super busy, and I was soul searching, and I had long chats with my husband about things, and ultimately I decided to go back to school. I'm in school again. I'm like a professional student at this point. It seems like every time you turn around, I am in school again. This time, I am in a Master's of Teaching program with a path to initial licensure. And my license area will be in communication arts and literature, which basically means I will be able to teach English, literature, reading, those kind of classes, maybe speech, I'm not sure. Those kind of classes in grades 5 through 12. My program is entirely online with some synchronous meetings once a week. And in the last couple months, I've actually been doing classroom observations. I had to get 50 hours of classroom observations at the middle school. Next semester, I'm going to do 50 hours of observations at a high school. And a year from now, I'll be doing 12 weeks of student teaching. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. But once I'm done with student teaching, then I think I'm eligible to get my license. And the degree and the license are separate, but they're done together. So I don't know. It's interesting. And with my family schedule, I really don't know how this is all going to work out, if this teaching license is going to be useful to me or not. But my husband has been so kind and encouraging, and this is a profession that I have considered. I mean, honestly, it's an idea I've been kicking around maybe my whole life. And so it's just one of those opportunities, I am able to go and do this, and I have the support, I have everything I need, so I'm just going to do this. At the end of it, I'll have a teaching license, which will be, really a safety net. If I don't use it for anything, it'll be a safety net in case my husband is not able to do his job anymore. And I don't know. It's an undefined future for me at this point, but I'm heading in a positive direction, and I'm just trusting the process and trusting my instincts and enjoying the process. I do love being in school. Academia, I love academia. That's the truth of it. I do. So that's kind of what I've been up to and why you haven't heard from me very, very much. Just processing things on a personal level and staying very busy, with external stuff, like my son's stuff and my own stuff, and supporting my husband and his stuff. And I've got dogs. Last time you saw me, our puppy Apollo had some eye thing that he needed surgery for. Oh my gosh, was that a fiasco? Expensive. He had some piece of cartilage that was born. He was born with some piece of cartilage that was not formed correctly, so they had to fix it. And then he was in a cone and he was still a puppy, and it was just, it was a lot of work. But I'm still taking him to dog training classes once a week, and that's been good for both him and myself. Otherwise, yeah, my son's doing well. He is a preteen. He's in his preteen phase. He's turning 10 next month. That is crazy to think about. I have a 10-year-old, an almost 10-year-old. Yep. That's it. That's in a nutshell. I think I will be at Jingle Ball this year. I haven't purchased my tickets yet, but I probably should, because it's a good event. I was there last year, really enjoyed meeting people. I was at the Spring Mingle, pretty sure that's what it's called, Spring Mingle. I met awesome people there, and it's just such a great opportunity to socialize when you don't have the means or the funds or the time to travel somewhere. And yeah, it's just really nice. So I think this is all I have to share with you today. So, thanks for sticking around and hearing my chatting about how things are going. And like I said, I am making a goal to film one more video for this year, next month, just showing you my Christmas stuff. I have some finishes to show you, some Christmas finishes, and I have some Christmas starts that I want to make, that I want to do, some exciting things. So I think I'll just do a Christmas themed video next month, if I can manage it. Okay, I hope you're well. Let me know in the comments how you're doing. YouTube has modified the comments notifications, so I can only see the comments if I go to the app, and that has not been working very well for me. So if I don't respond to you, or if we are having a conversation and I'm just not following up, just send me an email. My email is always listed below, and I'm happy to correspond with people via email. That's the best way to contact me, I think. Or I'm on Instagram. I usually do log into Instagram pretty frequently, but I haven't been posting there much. So that's it. I just wanted to say hey, and thanks for listening to my update, and thanks for your support and your friendship. It means a lot to me, and hope you're well. Take care, everyone.